What was the most surprising or emotional moment when you moved from being an RKC student to becoming its vice principal?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, and what still gives me goosebumps is when I read that prayer in the morning assembly, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. That I have heard down the years, and it is absolutely heartwarming, and it's very emotional.
The Sarangar Dining Hall is often called the heart of RKC. Is there any particular food from your school days that you still remember?
Definitely, today happens to be a Sunday, and Sundays.
When you walk through Sto Hall, does it feel like stepping into history?
Sto Hall is iconic. What is striking is all those portraits. Many of them have been made by Mr.
Every old boy has a mischief story. Can you share one harmless prank from your batch that you still remember?
It has to be.
When future students look back at your time at RKC, what is the one contribution you hope they will remember you for?
I believe students will remember me for
From handwritten letters to WhatsApp groups, from boarding house corridors to the vice principal's office, some journeys truly come full circle. Today, we're delighted to have with us Mr. Shivendra Nath Shah Deo, an old boy of Rajkumar College, Raipur, from the 1984 batch. A second generation RKCian, his bond with the school runs deep. From his student days just after RKC's centenary to returning years later as its vice principal. Having lived through a pre-digital student life and now guiding today's generation, he beautifully bridges RKC's past and present. Welcome, Mr. Shivendra Nath Shah Deo.
thank you, Shreevidya.
So, sir, the first question I have for you today is when RKC completed 100 years in 1982, apart from the celebrations, what was the atmosphere inside the boarding houses that year?
A lot of people, a lot of students, we had all been gearing up for the function, whether it was dramatics, whether it was arts and crafts. Um, these were in sync as far as the centenary celebrations were concerned. A lot of rehearsals were on. NCC cadets were busy. In those days, we had that 303, what should I say, rifle that was practiced by all NCC students. That was on. I mean, we kept on rehearsing this for a long time. And besides this, there was a special edition of the Mukut that was compiled, which had contributions from former students, and all these things were going on even as students went about their uh, preparations for the 1982 centenary celebrations. I distinctly remember I was in class 10 at that moment. So board examinations were also there, as well as preparations for the centenary celebrations.
Yes, sir. So, the next question I have for you is there were no mobile phones or internet in your time. How did that affect friendships and bonding within your batch?
I believe we are blessed that we did not have the internet, or for that matter WhatsApp, and the bonding was tremendous. We were engaged in games throughout, lots of games, whether it was cricket, tennis, hockey, football, basketball. volleyball. These were the sports in which the students were involved, and we thoroughly enjoyed each other's company, because the moment classes concluded, we always made a dash for the uh, games fields. So that was one place. Another place where a lot of activity took place was the library. Today, what is known as the uh, what is known as the reading room. At that
Yes.
time, the reading room had the library, and library was within striking distance. So we often met there, interacted, and we exchanged a lot of books. I remember we also had a massive stamp collection that is known as philately. So exchanging of stamps, exchanging of comics, especially Asterix, Obelix, Tintin, Western comics. So we did a lot of reading and a lot of playing. So this strengthened our bonds manifold.
Okay. The next is the Sarangar Dining Hall is often called the heart of RKC. Is there any particular food from your school days that you still remember?
Definitely. Today happens to be a Sunday, and Sunday's breakfast, puri and sabji, piping hot puri and sabji. I believe it is still on. Is it not?
Yes, it is.
Yes. That uh, was our favorite. It still is. Everyone remembers that. And second comes the Saturday English dinner with cutlets and you know um, custard and bread and soup. But yes, the favorite still is puri and sabji.
Yes. Since your father was also an Acacian, did joining the school feel like carrying a family legacy, or did it help you feel strong sense of belonging?
There was definitely a strong sense of belonging. My father passed away, and um, after some time, I joined the school. And what helped me was that a lot of teachers had already interacted with my father, so that helped. And as I progressed, I got a lot of help, guidance from my father's former colleagues, and I was privileged to actually work with a few of my teachers. I distinctly remember working with Mr. Bose, Mr. Shesh, uh, Mr. Mohanty, Mr. Gupta, and Mr. Khanna. So that helped me settle down um, very easily.
Yes. What was the most surprising or emotional moment when you moved from being an RKC student to becoming its vice principal?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, and what still gives me goosebumps is when I read that prayer in the morning assembly, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. That I have heard down the years, and it is absolutely heartwarming, and it's very emotional. I mean, I go for the prayers every morning,
Yes.
and whenever I read that particular prayer, that has a special place in my heart. So yes, it is indeed a very very emotional thing. The morning
Yes.
prayers assembly.
Yes.
That's a wonderful feeling.
Yes. When you walk through Sto Hall, does it feel like stepping into history? How do you make this rich history interesting for today's students?
I mean, Sto Hall is iconic. That was the site of all activities we had, whether it was intersect dramatics, intersect music, or intersect education, debate, any function, you name it, and it was conducted there.
Yes.
So the Sto Hall has a tremendous history, and that is what makes that place very, very special. And what is striking is all those portraits. Many of them have been made by Mr. P. Bose, and those two massive portraits, one of Sanghamitra, the daughter of uh, Ashok, King Ashok,
Yes.
and the second one, Princess Chitrangada from Manipur, who is also known as the warrior princess who married Arjun. Now, these paintings are like amazing, as are all the portraits that are there. So, yes, it has a sense of history. And just yesterday, I was with the batch of 93, and I was with the class of 1983, and they had some wonderful recollections, because that is the place where we had the morning assembly. So yes, Stowe Hall is indeed very, very, very special,
Yes.
and I look forward to interacting with the class of 1982 that is coming today.
Yes.
And yes, we have a function out there, and it is I look forward to interacting with them again at the Stowe Hall.
Stoho.
Yes.
When you compare the batch of 1984 with students today, what is the biggest shift you notice in their mindset?
Today, the children are far more aware. They are far more aware, and they exude a lot of confidence, which uh, was there earlier as well. But the degree of awareness that we see in that I see in children today is like amazing. I'll tell you, there were certain topics like being aware or being conscious of our environment. Now, that was limited to writing essays. But today, when I look and interact with children, they are very much aware of the needs of protecting the environment. That is one. And besides that, they are also aware of issues like global warming, the need for uh, greening the planet, and with the arrival of the internet, children are far more conscious, far more aware. They are better citizens. I believe we are preparing a very formidable group of citizens of tomorrow.
Every old boy has a mischief story. Can you share one harmless prank from your batch that you still remember?
Uh, it has to be bunking a class. It has to be bunking a class. I mean, we had this Hindi class, and we had to, like write an essay. No, I believe it was not an essay. We had to write a poem, and we were petrified how to express ourselves. So there was only one place to hide, and that was the library. So that is where we were. But then our teacher, Mrs. Kumar, she got hold of all of us, and there were four of us, and we inevitably graced the offices of the vice principal.
Okay. 1983. India won its first Cricket World Cup. Do you recall how victory celebrated widely at the RKC campus among the students as well as staff?
Well, it was, the summer holidays were very much on, and we were just watching the television.
Yes.
And once our team was shot out for 182, um, and with Vivian Richards, Clive Lloyd, such stalwarts, Gordon Greenidge coming up. we didn't expect much. So, so there we were watching the um, television, a black and white television, and suddenly I distinctly remember a news reader. In those days, that was compulsory. That even the match was interrupted through a news, you can say a news bracket.
Okay.
So there she was. I remember the name of the news reader, Gitanjali Iyer, and she was, you know, like explaining the headlines that this has happened, that has happened, and suddenly she says there is an update. West Indies have lost Vivian Richards.
Okay.
So I said, I mean, it's we couldn't believe that Vivian Richards is out, and then we thought that there is hope, and very soon the news reader went off, and we were glued to the screen, and we stayed late night, and then we celebrated it big time. Well, big time in what sense? I mean, we didn't have crackers inside. I mean, no one thought of crackers. We just hugged each other, and we were all very happy that India had won.
One. When future students look back at your time at RKC, what is the one contribution you hope they will remember you for?
Well, I have interacted with so many students down, I mean, like 30 years. It's more than 30 years. And I have guided children. There's no doubt about it. And I believe students will remember me for the way in which I related the subject of economics
Yes.
with events that are happening around us. Very often, I went uh, out of the book and related incidents that are happening around us,
Yes.
and this was told to me by the students as well. That's a, these are examples that we never saw in the book. So I feel students will remember me for that. I believe that is another way of um, teaching economics, relating with whatever is happening around us with the subject. So
Yes.
what if it is out of syllabus? It broadens the thought process.
You even drew those
Ah,
cartoons.
yes, I love to draw cartoons. I love to draw cartoons, and I used a lot of cartoons while teaching economics,
Yes.
whether it was in 9, 10, 11, and 12. Um, Cartoons were appreciated by the children as well. So,
Yes.
yes, cartoons are very important. I still practice it.
That made it really interesting.
Ah, yes, I tried to break the monotony of the class, and yes, that brought a smile to the faces of the children. One
Yes.
particular topic I remember, one student said, "Okay, sir, I'll never forget the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Why? Because I had used the example of Karan Johar. That particular year, Karan Johar had contributed a lot of money by way of um, income tax.
Yes.
So there, when I said Karan Johar, I mean everyone was perked up. Why is it that Karan Johar is coming into the scheme of things? And that particular student said, "Sir, I'll always remember Karan Johar. Why? Direct tax, impact and incidence of tax. This is very clear for me." So
Yes.
that was again not in the book, but yes, the students were able to relate with it.
Yes. So now we have the round of rapid fire.
Okay,
You just have to either answer in one word or just choose from the options. Favorite sport?
tennis,
Teaching life or student life?
teaching life any day,
Early morning PT or evening sports?
early morning PT,
The old structure or the vintage photographs?
the old structure,
The most terrifying spot on campus for a student in 1983? The principal's office or the housemaster's study?
the principal's office.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.